gong. Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Hamilton. We welcome you here in the sanctuary and those who have joined us online. We ask to turn your cell phones off during the service, with one important exception. Please feel free to use your phones to access our hearing assistance system, especially if you have T-coil. My name is Brenda Jackson. My pronouns are she, her, and I am your service leader this morning as we celebrate everyone that's in here and we celebrate hope in our service. Tech team today is Carlos and Josh, and our music minister today is Rachel Derry. Our goal in this congregation is to extend our hearts and to welcome you, whomever you are. We are here to love one another and encourage each other in our spiritual growth. Our congregational mission includes our commitment to nurture one another. I will now welcome Rachel for our prelude. And Gabriel.
Let beauty awake in the morn from beautiful dreams, beauty awake from rest. Let beauty awake for beauty's sake, in the hour when the birds awake in the break, and the stars are bright in the west. Let beauty awake in thee from the slumber of day, awake in the crimson eve, in the day's dusk end, when the shades ascend. Let her wake to the kiss of a tender friend, to render again and receive. Let beauty awake in the morn from beautiful dreams, beauty awake from rest. Let beauty awake for beauty's sake, in the hour when the birds awake in the break, and the stars are bright in the west. Let beauty awake in thee from the slumber of
Thank you very much. We are not the first people on this land, nor will be the last. We are situated on the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. This land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which was an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. We acknowledge and we honor the past to prepare ourselves by preserving this place for future generations.
Our chalice lighting words will be on the screen, but first I want to read a little diddly here. Our Hope and Our Passion by Pat Uribe Lichty. We light our chalice today, knowing that our hope and our passion are needed to change the world. We bring different gifts to the work, but we come together in one faith that what we do makes a difference, both in our world and in ourselves. Now let's read the words together of our the chalice lighting words, please, on the screen. Thank you. To nurture each other, serve the community, and inspire action that heals the world. Our call to worship is next. This one is called Hope Rises by John A. Burens and Rebecca Ann Parker. Hope rises. It rises from the heart of life, here and now, beating with joy and sorrow. Hope longs. It longs for good to be affirmed, for justice and love to prevail, for suffering to be alleviated, and for life to flourish in peace. Hope remembers. It remembers the dreams of those who have gone before and reaches for connection with them across the boundary of death. Hope acts. It acts to bless, to protest, and to repair. Now, let's sing our first hymn. Number 94, There Is More Love Somewhere. 95. Okay, 95.
Keep
Okay, so before we get the story of all ages, I have some announcements. Third Space Cafe is happening on August 28th, this Friday, and it will be games night hosted by Audrey Johnman. Today after service, we're doing a rainbow room painting. So anyone who'd like to join us, we are painting a mural on the wall, so bring your creative skills and we would be happy to have you. Story of all ages today is in our hands. How do I use this? How do I?
Click forward with
Okay.
this one.
Do you want to click?
I can click
Okay.
it.
Okay. In Our Hands by Lucy Farfort. We called it the dulling. It had been creeping on for such a long time and had started so gradually that most people barely even noticed. Perhaps they didn't even want to see it. No one knew what to do except carry on as normal, as if we could ignore the problem away. As the dulling spread, people felt sad and angry. They blamed each other and there were terrible arguments. Hurt replaced harmony, neighbors became enemies, but this didn't solve anything. When the last drop of color finally left our planet, the people in charge shrugged their shoulders and said nothing could be done. Still, in my corner of the world, I kept my eyes open for answers. Because you never knew when out of the blue, the tiniest thing could show up and spark a transformation. Such a single grain of hope found by those like us, dreamers with a gaze that never quit. At first, it seemed like nothing was happening, so I shouted for help. And someone heard my call. "Hello," he said. "I've got an idea." And guess what? It worked. "If we gather more people, this could change things," we cried. Most walked past without even stopping, too busy to care. Many had grown up with used to the gray. "Learn to live with it," they said. But make us want to walk away, but we kept each other going. Bit by joyful bit, others took notice, and everyone who joined gave us new energy. Then there was some funny suggestions along the way, but each offered a glint of a brighter tomorrow. At times, the effort was exhausting. When things got really tough, we had to work as one. Then I woke up one morning, and the air felt different. It was filled with a smell of promise. Like the flick of a switch, our dreams had blossomed, and in front of us stood a beacon of hope. I guess from a distance among all that gray, it must have appeared a speck of change. Yet we knew deep down that together we started something incredible. And in our hands was the key to help others do the same.
We have a lot of papers up here. Here we go. I know where we are. We're doing the meditation now. This reading is called Revolutionary Love by Dana Edwards. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for my faith that our collective love united can drown out the evils of empire and hate and greed. Together we create a love energy more powerful than any force of oppression, because when two or more people are gathered side by side, arm in arm, shoulder to shoulder, the force of love ignites liberation. Revolutionary love calls us to know ourselves deeply, see God in the stranger, find beauty in the imperfect. Revolutionary love calls us to find the divine in dirt, the holy in the heartache, and the sacred in the scars. Revolutionary love calls us out and then back in. Revolutionary love calls us to be better and do better. Revolutionary love calls us to heal and hold each other, because none of us would be here if it weren't for our faith in each other. Now we'll have our music and some time to reflect.
We have a few joys, a joy and a sorrow to share this morning. We have a joy from the garden team. This last week, our joint leaders celebrated. Sue Prescott had a birthday, and Sue and Ian Johnstone celebrated their 54th wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary. We have a sorrow from Walter. My favorite cousin, Allard, passed away at age 83. The family is best blessing for everlasting peace. The offering we accept each Sunday is an opportunity to recommit ourselves to this community and our relationship with one another. We will now receive our offering while we listen to Gabriel.
I'm just going to introduce this just so you know what the title is. So that first piece Gabriel sang was by Ralph Vaughan Williams, Let Beauty Wake. This one's called Le Papillon et les Fleurs, and it's about a poor little flower. So it's written by, the words by Victor Hugo and the music by Fauré, and it's about a poor little flower who wishes it had wings to join the butterfly.
la terre m'enchaîne, soeur cruelle. Je voudrais embaumer son vol des Hélène dans les ciels, mais non te va trop loin parmi des fleurs sans nombre, vous fouillez. Et moi je reste seul à tenir mon ombre à mes pieds. Tu fuis, puis tu reviens, puis tu t'invenges encore à l'ailleurs. Aussi m'est trouvé tout toujours à chaque aurore, tout en pleurs, à part que notre amour collait des jours fidèles, ô mon roi. Prends comme ma racine, donnez-moi des ailes comme toi.
Thank you. Your gifts and support of our ministries is to one another, to the community, are deeply appreciated. Thank you.
I really love that song. That is such a fun one, and I really wanted to dance, but I don't know any ballroom dances to do with it. I don't know the waltz. So a couple of months ago, I was talking with somebody about the advocacy work that they were doing, and they said something that I haven't quite been able to let go of, and I've been thinking about it since then, really. And they said that it's hard to sustain hope. And there's no doubt that we've all faced many challenges in the last couple of years. Since COVID, our world has changed a lot. I don't think any of us expected that this is what our world would look like when we imagined what the 2020s might look like in the 2000s, 90s, 80s, or earlier. Sometimes it feels like things are getting worse and worse with no end in sight. Climate change is driving extreme weather, displacement and ecological stress. Rising costs make inequality more prevalent. Global conflicts are escalating in some areas, and conflicts in other areas aren't even being reported on. And I'm looking at the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Sudan, among others. And misinformation and polarization make it hard to simply agree on facts. Never mind how we should even address our problems in our city, our province, country, or globally. Because many of us might have to spend our energy working harder and harder just to afford to live, we don't often have the resources or energy to go out and spend time with our friends, extended families, just hanging out. And folks who are aging are dealing with difficulties as well. Grandchildren and children living far away, so maybe they don't have the support that they need when they're having increasing health issues, or their partner is struggling with other things. But no matter what problem we are facing, whether it's one of these I've mentioned or another, or perhaps a more personal problem, hope can really feel elusive. When it seems as though the world is deteriorating around us, the advocacy work that we do for ourselves, our loved ones, and our community seems to reach ears that don't or won't hear, and nothing changes, or God forbid it gets worse. What do we even hold on to? What is it that you are hoping for? Either a small hope for this afternoon or a grander hope for the rest of your life. And when you are going through dark times, how do you hold on to your hope? In the readings that I've done in this past week, I've noticed one common theme: when it comes to holding on to hope. And it's simply remembering that no matter what, we are all in this together. A braided rope is stronger than a single thread. When we all work together, we can get more done. Humans have built this modern world because we are social creatures, and we come together to figure out how to solve problems and make surviving a little easier for our descendants. There was a church that I attended. I lived in Winnipeg for about 10 years, and in this church, they had a really neat painting, which is one image that's come to me as I've been preparing to speak today. And it's the image of a group of bison, but it's a group of bison in the protective circle, and they have like maybe a mother who has just given birth in the middle. So the strong bison are standing around them, protecting them from predators. This is the image that often comes to me when I think about what a good community looks like. So a good community takes care of those that are weakened, whether it's emotionally, physically, spiritually, or mentally. And the beautiful thing about community is that when we are all able to live as authentically as possible, we can all find our own place in our community. Just like the braided rope, each strand has its own path, but together it makes a strong rope, and each strand is just as important to any other strand in the whole. And I also think of the stone soup story, which a lot of people here might know. A stranger comes to the village and encourages the villagers to each bring an ingredient, and with all of those ingredients, they make a delicious soup, and they all have a feast together afterwards. If we think of ourselves as one of the ingredients, we're all different, but all together we make such a beautiful, strong community. So a good community invites others to be their authentic selves. They care and support each other, and they love radically. They love radically. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our 8 principles and our shared values, which we hold as inseparable and deeply interconnected. That's a quote from the UUA, and they have an image of the 6 or 7 values that they have, and in the middle is love. Love connects to all of those values. And when I see the 8 principles, there we have a list outside there, love is the basis, I think, of all of those values. Love is what moves us to do our advocacy work, to volunteer in this community or another space, and to support the work of this church. Love moves us to come on Sunday mornings or Friday evenings, or to meet with each other in our home or meet in a coffee shop and get to know each other and connect. Love is the first ingredient when we make a meal for someone struggling or when we offer to help someone in need. Love is what keeps our hope alive. There are many, many ways that our ability to love is challenged. In our capitalistic and patriarchal society, we are confronted with images and stories filled with violence, with love that isn't really love, but we're told that it's love, so we start to think that it's love, and greed. We're taught from an early age whether or not we're worthy of care and support from those around us. Or perhaps we're wealthy enough that we can buy a hologram of that care and support. Bell Hooks says that when love is present, the desire to dominate and exercise power cannot rule the day. Concern for the collective good of our nation, our city, or neighbor are rooted in the values of love. It makes us all seek to nurture and protect that good. If all public policy was created in the spirit of love, we would not have to worry about unemployment, homelessness, schools failing to teach children, or addiction. One of the arguments that I've heard in support for a universal basic income is that if everyone had their basic needs met, where they didn't have to worry about being able to afford food or housing or medical needs so if you don't have to worry about meeting your needs, our musicians, artists, caregivers, and our elderly and our young would be able to nurture the parts of their lives that they cannot when they have to pour their time, energy, and money into basic survival needs. Can you imagine what our world might look like if artists and musicians and caregivers and young and elderly can spend their lives perfecting their art and caring for each other? I think that's radical love. Now, it's clearly not always easy, or else there might be more of it in our world. It's not always easy to love people who are different from us when we're taught to fear them. It's not easy to love what we don't understand or what threatens our own sense of safety and belonging. Now, allow me to quote Bell Hooks once again. She has a really good book about love, and I would recommend that you check it out. She says, "When we choose to love, we choose to move against fear, against alienation and separation. The choice to love is a choice to connect, to find ourselves in the other. When we connect with each other, there may be some uncomfortable feelings. We may see hurt and pain and trouble, and if those are a mirror of our own wounds, it's even harder to face." And I ask, can you truly love someone else if you do not give that love to yourself? When I was in my last year of my master's program, so that was 22-23 school year, I actually found out that the youth pastor of the church that I grew up in lived close by, less than an hour, so close for Canadians. I was able to meet up with him, and we had some really great conversations. And I remember one of the conversations we had was about love. And one of the things that I shared with him was that growing up being taught God's love for me. Now, I grew up in a Presbyterian church, so quite conservative kind of background. But I was taught that God's love for me is better than any kind of love that I could ever get, and that's all I really needed. But that teaching actually didn't really help me, and maybe it was because, growing up as a woman, we're taught to care for others more than for ourselves. But in some of the emotional healing that I've done, I've learned the opposite, actually. And I think that growing up with that message, it kind of stunted my ability to love myself more. And it gave me the message that maybe I wasn't really lovable. If I couldn't love myself, maybe I'm not really lovable. And it was only when I was able to look kindly upon myself, but not just who I am today, but look back to my inner child and my inner teenager and care for all of those parts of me, then I felt like I could truly love myself. And when I could love myself and all of those parts of myself, and it's still hard to do that sometimes, but then the Christian God's love didn't matter so much to me anymore. I didn't feel like I had to fit into a mold. I didn't feel like I had to live up to anyone's expectations of what a woman should look like. I was free to be me. And it's this self-love, that is where love starts. When we love ourselves, we accept all of our weirdness. We don't punish ourselves for making mistakes. We take care of the needs of our bodies and our souls. When we love ourselves, our whole outlook on life can change. We find joy in the little things. We feel peace more. And the struggle, it's definitely still there, but it's easier to bear. Cornel West said that any disease of the soul must be conquered by a turning of one's soul. That turning is done through one's own affirmation of worth, an affirmation fueled by the concern of others. So I can love myself and I can love others. They're very much interconnected. When we love ourselves more, we can love others easier. There's a common phrase I'm sure you've heard: you can't pour from an empty cup. It's not any less true when talking about self-love and loving others. So, where do I place my hope? I place it in love, in radical love. There are countless stories of hope and love, stories of connections between strangers going the extra mile for someone they'll never cross paths with again, people who have been able to lean on someone in hard times, either a family member or somebody they don't really know very well, and it could be either temporary or long-term. These stories are so powerful, and if I read one, I'm usually tearing up. And I doubt that we'll ever find a time in our history when there isn't some sort of deep love for each other, even way back into our early human years. And I believe that we'll come through this hard time we're experiencing today because of love. And we can look back and say, wow, we made it through that. And we'll make it through it because we love each other. Because we can see through all the pain and hurt and power-hungry choices that the real human is here with us. Even if it's just a glimpse, it's here. And sometimes I'll also say that love doesn't feel very good. It might not even feel kind. It's like Aslan in the Chronicles of Narnia. One of the children asked in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, "Is he safe?" And the reply is, "Safe? Who said anything about safe? Of course he isn't safe, but he's good." Maybe I don't want to go for a walk for 30 minutes every day, but I know that that's the loving thing to do for my health. Maybe I don't want to stop playing video games at night so I can go to bed on time, so I can get enough sleep, but I know that that's the loving thing to do and the boundary to have as a mom. Speaking of boundaries, boundaries are also very hard and challenging, and we often don't want to put them up, but they're often the loving thing to do for ourselves more than for the other person. Even confronting somebody about their hurtful words to me might be very hard, but that might be the loving thing to do for myself. Loving radically, loving yourself radically and loving others radically is a very brave thing to do. And at this point, it might seem practically countercultural, but as Sarah Wilson has said, the best way to promote love is to love first. There's another poem that I heard by W.H. Auden, and maybe we can sum it up by saying, maybe there's a line in the poem that says, "Let me be the more loving one. Let me take the first step to be the more loving one." So the world probably won't look like what we imagine it to be in 20 years. But we can take each moment today to love ourselves and to love another, and we can make choices that promote the well-being of everyone in our society today. Each of those little choices work towards what our future will be. Your choice of coming here today, of smiling at someone, greeting a friend with a hug, maybe you don't know how much that kind act means to them, but it fills their tank a little more. My choice of speaking today, I hope it sparks a little bit of hope and encouragement to love yourself and to choose to love others more and to love radically. And if you find yourself in a spot where you have difficulty mustering up any sort of hope or love for yourself, never mind another, let us be here to support you. We can care for you and nurture you until you regain your strength. It's okay to sit in the middle of that protective circle. Maybe you'll sit in the circle a little bit longer too, and that's okay. We will keep making choices to work towards a better society for everyone. So essentially, so that we don't have to struggle so much just to live. And when it's our time to pass our torches on to those who can carry it a little bit further, we will do so that we can keep each other safe. Another challenge I'm reminded of is that sometimes it's hard for us to accept love. And I really want to say, there is a couple of people who've shared some stories of some challenges that they've been experiencing, and I'm like, please let us know if the church here, we can support you in some way. We can do a meal train, we can help we can figure out some way to help you, I'm sure. There are so many caring people in this community. And I've not yet had somebody say, you know what, I could use some help with this. It is so hard to accept support and care when we're told to be independent people. We need to be able to do it on our own, but I don't think that that's really the way forward. We need to be able to rely on each other. The braided rope is stronger than a single strand, so let's be the braided rope. Amanda Gorman says, "The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it." It is a very brave thing to love radically and to love yourself. Oh, holy mystery, the dreams you plant in our hearts truly change the world more than we can know. Despite failure, despite backlash, despite discouragement, let those dreams shine bright and find new life again and again. Now let's sing our last hymn. What number is it? I didn't write it down. Oh, it's Sing Out Love, so it's not in your book anyway. Words are going to be on the screen. It's a fun one, though, I promise.
So this is, I realized I hadn't told anybody who this is by. Adam Pod wrote this. It's in our new virtual online hymnal. How exciting is that? And yeah, please join me. Nice, easy melody. We'll find joy in the morning, joy in the morning. We go up. Joy in the morning, we'll find joy. We'll find hope. Ready for a key change? Here we go. We'll find strength in each other. Strength in each other. Strength in each other. In each other. We'll find strength. There is love all around us. Love all around us. Love all around us. All around us. There is
Our benediction is called Hope Does Dwell, and it's written by Elizabeth Nguyen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Anyway, God of mercy, Spirit who makes peace out of war, who wanders with refugees and keeps vigil with children at our border and all borders, holy healer in hospitals and shelters, at schools, in homes, at weddings, and in planes, may your love be balm for all the hurt. May your truth be present in offices of power and in the hearts of soldiers and civilians alike. Many times we've thought the arc was bending towards justice. Many times we saw it happen in courtrooms and in streets and in the hearts of people creating their own liberation. Many times we've also doubted. For those of us this morning who doubt, who despair that brokenness and suffering and war may win, remind us of the small mercies, the tiny triumphs that hope does dwell in this world. And I would like to invite Gabriel up for the postlude, and after the postlude, JP has a song for us as well, right? Yep. Awesome.
Oh, love, be deep as the darkest sea, where the sea grasses sleep and the still stars fade. Oh, love, be deep. Oh, love, be wise as the quiet bird whose wings arise with the rising sun. Oh, love, be wise. Oh, love, be deep and wise.
Good morning. At 4 a.m., I woke up with something heavy on my heart, and I knew what I had to do was to come here and be shoehorned into the ceremony. I wanted to sing a song for Canada, given the fact that, as the Prime Minister said, we're under attack and we're at war. And we're a country that's tough. We're the country of Tommy Douglas and Terry Fox, Neil Young, Gord Downey. So in the spirit of Pete Seeger, with a bit of Tom Waits thrown in, we're going to sing This Land Is Your Land and sing a song for Canada. Sorry? Okay.
This is off memory. Wish me luck.
This, this land is my land, from Bonavista to Vancouver Island, from the Arctic Circle to the Great Lake waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me the endless skyway. I saw below me the golden valley. This land was made for you and me. All right now. This land is your land. This land is my land. From Bonavista I roamed and rambled and followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, while all around me a voice was sounding, saying this land was made for you and me. All right, here we go. This land is your land, this land is my land, from Bona Vista to Vancouver Island, from the Arctic Circle to the Great Lake water. This land was made for you and me. The sun came shining and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling. As the fog was lifting, a voice was calling. This land was made for you and me. All right, big finish. This land is your land. This land is my land. From Bona Vista to Vancouver Island, from the Arctic Circle to the Great Lake waters. This land was made for you and me. Ba da 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 bum bum bum.